Welcome to another edition of the Live Well and Fully podcast. Through this podcast, we help women remember that they matter too. We spark new insights on changes they might desire for in their own lives so they can step forward confidently and turn their dreams into reality.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live Well and Fully. I'm Barbara Decker here on the East Coast of the United States in Pennsylvania, and I'm very excited to be joined today by my son, Eric. Eric is the man who inspired this work. Today, he lives a full life, including to my delight, handling the most challenging tech aspects of bringing our work to the moms who need it. Eric has grown into being one of my most trusted confidants and advisors. With 4 years of sobriety under his belt, he's now opening a sober house to help others stay the course. And so the title of our interview today is How to Maintain Recovery. Welcome, Eric, and thanks for spending time with me today. You know, I hear over and over from my students how much they enjoy your view on things. So let's jump in. You ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Question one. How long have you been in recovery, and how long were you in addiction?
Just past 4 years in recovery, and that came after over 8 years in addiction.
Good for you. And if you know, what was the moment where you actively chose recovery?
It's hard to give a distinct answer because I had some inclination toward it during my third jail stay. And then I came out of jail, started using again, eventually wound up in rehab, and I was still not really entirely convinced until about halfway through my 28-day program. I don't know exactly what switched, but that's when it did.
Thank you. It's surprising to me how often people really don't know what caused that switch to flip. And of course, everyone would love to know that answer, and I don't think anybody has it.
Right.
Number 3, what was the most effective part of your recovery treatment?
For me, it was during my inpatient treatment, the facility I was at, we went to outside meetings more often than not, daily AA or NA meetings. And that was really important for me to, not be cooped up in the rehab. After that, when I went to extended care, the program I was in had a large outdoor component, which really kept me interested and didn't get me bored on just programming all the time.
That's an interesting observation, and many of you won't know this, but my older son, Evan, is in rehab right now. He's completing a stay there. And I think on reflection that the lack of those kinds of activities has been a detriment to him. You know, it didn't occur at the time when he chose it. He chose something that is mostly programming, and it's been good for him, but I think you're right, Eric. Question 4, what has been most important in allowing you to remain in recovery?
So most people who are very rah about recovery would probably say here, the ability to pay it forward. There's a slogan, we can only keep what we have by giving it away, which is certainly part of it for me. I'm not the most active in the fellowship these days, but I do find ways to stay involved in the community. As you mentioned, opening a sober house now is the latest chapter in that. But especially early on, what really kept me engaged was seeing myself progress and being able to challenge myself to continue to grow. That's been the biggest thing for me.
Good. That's a great answer. Question 5. What is the most common mistake a family member makes when dealing with a loved one who has a substance use disorder, a mental illness, a mind disease of any type?
Probably the most common mistake would be not setting boundaries and not understanding the right way to approach their loved one, to give them a chance to choose recovery. So, the more we give in to their demands and don't accept that what their addict brain wants is not going to help them in the long run, even though it feels like it's helpful, that really just leads them further into their addiction and allows them to continue to make bad choices.
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. Question 6. What is one tip a listener can use starting now that will help them be more effective when dealing with their loved one?
Try to put yourself in their shoes. Every time they come to you and ask for something, don't just take it at face value. Think about what might actually be leading to that request and consider whether or not it's going to allow them to fuel their addiction. And if it is, don't oblige the request. Make an alternative suggestion that you think is a healthier approach, and be prepared to, get some nasty remarks in response, but that's for the best in the long run as much as it sucks in the moment.
Thank you. I think that is also spot on. So, folks, that's a wrap. And Eric, your answers were so insightful. I think will help so many people. And I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to do this with me and to share your insights with the many people who are wrestling this disease and impacts. To everyone who's watching, I hope you find a pocket of joy today because you are so worth it. Talk soon. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to be notified when new episodes are released. Then visit www.livewellandfully.com/workshop to experience the Love Another Way framework firsthand.